On agenda today, we're talking about the IITs, which is considered the Ivy League of Indian educational institutes. They've bucked all the trends through the years and continue to draw the highest number of students and the brightest of the lot to their campuses. Let me just give you an instance of the numbers of that. There are about 12 lakh aspirants to the IITs. They are the ones who initially apply for it, and the ones finally making through after the final round of exams is only about 50,000 of these students. Imagine 17 to 18-year-old students who get through such a rigorous process. And on the show today, we have 3 of those toppers joining us, talking about their success, because so many people in this country are obsessed with the IITs. And of course, they're the best of the lot. They make it to the international QS rankings as well. So let me just introduce you. In studio, we have Delhi, one of the toppers from Delhi, Ananya Agarwal. He came 3rd in the joint entrance exam. We also have Mohan Abhyas joining us from Hyderabad, and he secured the 6th rank in the exams as well. We'll have one other topper, that's the woman topper, young woman, N. Ramya, who makes up just about 14%. Remember, one of the major concerns about IITs has been that while they're focusing on getting more students in, very few of them get in. So only 14% women have gotten into the premier IIT institutes as well. And a shout out to our audience over here. A lot of the students from IIT Delhi, and so they'll be telling perhaps some words of advice for the toppers over here, what they thought that they're getting into and what the reality really is. We also have Professor M. Balakrishnan. He is the Deputy Director of IIT Delhi, to talk about how he sees the entire process. And another success story, he's not a topper himself, but his class, his tuitions, they're called the Super 30. Super 30 founder Anand Kumar joins us from Patna as well. Very, very successful. They train a lot of students in Patna to get into the IITs, and this time, very lucky for them, they've had almost all their students get into the IITs. So congratulations, all of you. If I can start with you, Ananya, you're a Delhi student, and you're from one of those, it's not the best school in Delhi, it's not even that well known, and you've managed to crack the IITs. What would you say? Is it the school which made you, or is it just your diligence and hard work and your parents tell you must get down to it, or some amazing tutorial like the Super 30s in Bihar?
I think it's a combination of all the factors. The parents and teachers have of course got a large role to play. So it's with their constant guidance and support that I think I have achieved my success.
When did you know? I've always, because everyone knows it's mythical. Anything happens in the IITs as well, it makes lots of news, and everybody talks about how tough it is. And every time their placements are done, everybody talks about how many people got into, their pay scales are looked at. At how old were you when you decided that's my goal, that's what I'm working towards?
So I was in class 10th, so I was 15 years old when I decided I would like to attempt the IIT exam.
And was it at the suggestion of your parents?
Yes, I mean, I was always interested in computer science, and in India, IITs are the best for that. So yeah, that's why I naturally inclined towards that.
I have to ask you, Vabrisati, am I pronouncing that right? Vabrisati Mohan Abhyas, I wanted to ask you, when the newspapers came in today, everybody was talking about your father and how, you come from a modest background, and yet you've achieved this. Because everyone imagines going to very expensive tutorials to get into IITs. How does it feel that everybody is looking at your family and saying, look, he comes from this simple family and yet he's achieved so much? What does that feel like?
It feels like that money doesn't matter, but in Narayana College I study education, Akash at very cheaper rate, that's very less, and father and mother had done very hard work to make me study at Narayana College. So I thought I would get into some IIT and then help them to be settled. I did hard work and secured 64th rank in advanced and 6th rank in mains. I was happy. That's it.
And you know, here we have Ananya who tells us he decided when he was class 8. I believe that class 10, but I believe you, Mohan, you decided when you were in class 8 as well. So pretty early on you decided that you wanted to be an IIT engineer. And you know, it says here that you went to a coaching to a private institute. Was that very expensive? And is that required? Can someone do it without coaching institutes?
Just I went for mock tests and some missed classes in Narayana. It was not expensive because they gave me fee waive off based on my marks in their exams. So it's not expensive. And I think it also helped me to improve somewhat.
I think that's so encouraging. When the fact that you're brilliant, you're obviously brilliant, you've made it with so many people competing, and then when private institutes recognize that brilliance as well and they reward you, you didn't have to pay anything for your coaching institute. What kind of coaching institute did you go for?
I went to Fitji, South Delhi. It is a local coaching.
So can you tell, like, regular people, you know, students who are here, just how many hours did you have to study?
Well, it varies. I mean, in class 11th, I used to study around 8 to 9 hours a day, and
this is individual study. This is not coaching class or anything.
No, everything included.
Okay, everything 8 to 9 hours, yeah.
So in class 12th, in the beginning, I used to study around 10 hours a day, and as the exams approached, I reduced it again to 8.
I have to tell our viewers at home that when the audience first came in, as I said, they're Delhi IIT audience, and I said, do the toppers who are going to be on our show, do they know what they're in for? You know, are they prepared? And all of you, you know, shook your heads and said no. Why do you think they're not prepared? Any one of you?
I think the pressure overall is enormous. When you come to IIT, you realize that the game is totally different. You're competing amongst the best brains, one of the best brains who finally could get into IIT that day. And I think you get prepared for a lot further. IIT, you know, they really encourage you to balance both your academic life as well as your extracurriculars. So I think they teach you the best of both, and you, in turn, when you come out, you are a much better individual because you know how to balance many things.
You know, the other topper that we have with us is Ramya. Ramya, a lot of focus on your success because you make up this, you know, who's the young woman in the audience who just spoke right now. She is also one of those minority members, women who made it to IIT, and only about 14% have made it this time as well. How does it feel to be in such, first of all, the clique of IIT is, you know, so limited, such a small number of students who get into IITs, and then to be just part of the 14% on campus, Ramya. What's that like? Does that intimidate you?
Answer.
I feel very proud of myself for doing that. Actually, usually girls, they get tense during the exam. So I want to tell all the girls who are aspiring for IIT not to get tense during their exam. They just give their best and the result will come by itself.
That's good advice. I see the entire front row in our audience, if we can have a shot of them. They're all women who are in Delhi IIT, right? All of you in Delhi IIT. Would you agree with that? Is that why women are only 14%? Any one of you, yeah? Why aren't there more women?
I think that it's just they did not get the proper in the beginning from 10th. Doesn't encourage us. I mean, this is the point. If there is encouragement from family side, the percentage could increase to a great amount.
So it's a family support which is missing.
Yes.
All of you feel that. So what kind of family support did all of you have, you know, which differed for other women?
I think I had a very supportive family. Till the last day of the IIT exam, I had a choice, whatever career path I wanted to choose. If I wanted, I would not have written the exam. That was totally my choice. Whenever I was tense, I could speak to them, confide in them, whatever doubts, fears I had. So I think in that kind of a push that yes, you can do it, just like
was
the
that
guys
missing
do.
for the other girls in your class in school?
Maybe they're not encouraged at class 10th level for pursuing science or something like that. But on the other side, for boys, they are told that you should take science, you will do well.
So
That
you're
kind of
saying
encouragement
even in
is not
school, in the science stream, women were a minority?
Yes.
Yes.
Always?
Yes.
that's where the sifting happens.
But
That's
if you see
problem
in medical, then the ratio is 50-50.
in medical.
Medical,
Because they don't go towards physics and
Actually, they are told that they are born to be a doctor and boys are born to be engineer. We are not, will not be able to do engineering work. We are told like this. So this.
So, Anand Kumar, it's 2017 and you train so many people to get. Congratulations, first of all. Your success has legendary, and this time, of course, I believe it's 100% success. Everybody's gone in. Tell me, do you have your students, are they 50-50? Are they 50% women?
नो सॉरी, देहात में तो गांव में तो ऐसी हालातें हैं कि महिलाओं को बच्चियों के पढ़ने की सुविधा ही नहीं है और माता पिता चाहते कि जल्दी से जल्दी उनकी शादी कर दे। कोई बच्ची अगर पढ़ना भी चाहती है तो लोग चाहते हैं कि उसको टीचर बना दे। तो ऐसी हालात में लड़कियां हमारे पास कभी कभी एक दो आ पाती है। हालांकि हम लोग चाहते हैं कि ज्यादा से ज्यादा बच्चियों को हम लोग साथ रखें।
तो आनंद जी, आपके इस पूरे क्लास में कितनी लड़कियां थी?
इस बार तो दुर्भाग्य से बोलते हुए मुझे अच्छा भी नहीं लग रहा, एक भी बच्ची नहीं आ पाई थी। इसके पिछले साल भी नहीं आ पाई थी, लेकिन उसके पिछले साल 5 बच्चियां थी, उसके पिछले साल 3 बच्चियां थी। तो लड़कियां जनरली कम आ पाती हैं, हम लोग कम खोज पाते हैं। उनके पेरेंट्स जो, क्योंकि हम लोग अंडर प्रिविलेज सेक्शन के बच्चों को लेते हैं, वहाँ तो पढ़ाई ही अपने आप में एक बहुत बड़ी बात होती है। जिनके पिताजी रोड साइड वेंटर है, जिनके पिताजी फार्मर है छोटे मोटे, उनके घर में पढ़ने का माहौल ही कम होता है और उसे में बच्चियों का पढ़ने का और IIT तक के सपने देखने का तो बात ही बहुत दूर होती है। इसलिए थोड़ी तकलीफ होती है हमें भी कि मैं बच्चियों को कम ले पाता।
जी बिल्कुल, दिस इज सो ट्रैजिक एंड परहैप्स प्रोफेसर बालाकृष्णन, द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज टू यू. I know that the IITs, the HRD ministry, everyone is trying to make an effort to make space for more women, but how do you think we can fix this? Because I think this has been a concern for the past couple of decades at least, if not more, and every time the government says and the IITs say that they are trying to encourage more women, and this is the same with, and you're talking about science, but IIMs have the same problem, right? It's not just IITs, it's IIMs. So it's not an engineering mindset, it's just these institutes of excellence, all of them are, they don't have women. So Professor Balakrishnan, what's the solution? How do we get more women in? Because as we heard from some of your students over here, it's the encouragement is missing in school, and unfortunately it's missing from the parents.
No, all the evidence suggests whatever has happened in the educational setup, most of the time the issue is not about, today increasingly it is not about encouragement, especially in urban areas. The challenge essentially is the coaching classes. Whether the parents actually encourage the girls to go actually to the coaching classes and also serious coaching, and unfortunately all these entrance examinations have got dominated that you do need to go beyond school to the coaching classes. There are many evidences in the Indian educational system when institutions have actually admitted students based on the, even engineering institutions, based mainly on the board scores, there the percentage of girls have dramatically increased. See, in the campus we are actually seeing increased number of girls in the PG programs, in the PhD program, in the master's program, which essentially means that there is no really, at least I would say in the urban areas, there is no discouragement for girls to study. Parents really want girls to study, but unfortunately it doesn't translate into when the entrance barriers actually come through an entrance exam. So how do we break it? This is really the challenge.
So any ideas about that? What are the schemes that you're offering? Because I know that even IIMs are saying that they're going to, they have quotas, but what is the other way? Because if it is, I see what you're saying, that when it comes down to it, they may say the right things, but then sending them for other classes and tutorial classes is just way too much work, or they worry about women going for their safety when they go for these classes. So how do you crack that?
So, I think to some extent integration of schooling with coaching, that is happening in some schools, in some there perhaps it may be some. We ourselves also have to evolve examinations which actually less and less depend upon the actually child being coached. There is always a challenge, because the coaching by itself is a very, very massive effort and an industry which actually would like to keep ahead of whatever we are trying to do. So, as institutions, we always try to devise examination systems, evaluation systems which try to somehow get past that just the effort that goes into coaching does not reflect into the performance in the exam, but it still has a lot of influence.
Ramya, do you have any?
Don't have the magic formula.
Ramya, as
But,
a successful woman candidate, do you have any ideas that if they did this, many more of your friends would have perhaps gone for those classes with you?
Speak. Speak. Do you have any idea?
Pardon, I didn't hear your question.
Do you have any idea
Yes.
for the success?
Your dad perhaps is telling you what I asked.
Do you have any ideas for success of women? Tell.
Actually, women, girls, they're not strong. Like once they become strong, they can start resisting even like parental pressure. Like parents don't allow them to go towards science stream, so they can resist those pressures.
Okay.
Like parents first should start.
You all have any ideas, any suggestions which could perhaps get in more women in classes, into all these tutorial classes? Obviously, going for these tutorial classes was something which bothered parents, right?
Fee waiver should be given in the tutorial classes, in the coaching classes, so that parents could be encouraged, because seeing the fees, they may not be encouraged to go send them to the coaching classes. I think fee waiver should be given in that phase.
Especially if they qualify for those exams, right? So, as in fact, as he was saying, Mohan was saying that when he went for his tutorial class, he didn't have to pay anything because he just done so well. So, if perhaps that's something, that's a great idea that tutorial classes should consider as well, that if there are women who are doing well, who qualify well, they can perhaps get that fee kind of waiver as well. What would you say?
Yeah, definitely that would be a.
Because in Delhi, you still thought that, out of your classmates, were there girls who were interested and they couldn't get through because they didn't have the right kind of encouragement?
No, I would say that all of my classmates who tried, like I knew quite a few girls who tried, and they've got good ranks. But I think the main problem is still at the household, because to get free waivers, you first have to give the exams that the coaching institutes have set up.
Right.
So for that,
and
also
this would be after school in the evenings, all kinds of times.
Yeah. So still the problem is the root cause has to be eliminated.
Wow, that really is something for people to think about. We're going to take a short break now. When we come back, we're going to talk about the aspiration for IITs. Is it something that everybody still aspires for? Stay with us. We are talking to the toppers.